We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with the Houston Texans. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Very left. Man down.
On first down, Keenum. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. On first down, it's Keenum. Flush to his right. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Lavonte David. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watson now to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, able to make the play defensively. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. The kick by Tavecchio is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
So the Broncos coming out now. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, it's Keenum. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Lavonte David. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
After the interception, here's Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And the lead grows to 10-0. Tavecchio now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Here's Royce Freeman, the first carry for the rookie. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. Keenum to Sanders for the Denver first down. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 48-yard line. And here's Marshall. And some room to maneuver. 20, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Keith Marshall, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos draw a bit closer. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Jamal Agnew now to return it. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Tiger, tiger, tiger. Black 22. Black 22.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. He'll buy some time right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one. 62 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Down. Green, the line. Green, the line.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Bear in mind they had 2 interceptions last week, but that was in 4 quarters. They've got 2 here in the first quarter alone.
And the unsung people in this streak, the pass rusher. They're the ones that affect things.
And they're swooping. So they get the INT. Now here's Keenum. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Keenum now to throw. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked up by Lavonte David. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed
that, but they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game, and you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Back 22.
From the gun, here's Watson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Tavecchio puts this one through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. The first down screen pass, good for 5. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The 4-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks left. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 3rd and 10 here to start things out.
Right 20.
Now Keenum. And he's going to go down again. The former number 1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney. He's the That's sack number 7 for him on the year. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
Now Watson. They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Now they'll run it on the toss. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. It's Kareem Jackson making the play defensively.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On second down, here's Keenum. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Sanders. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
Now I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule. Where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well. 17
more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Yeah, we're good, we're good.
Keenum now to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
They're watching the film, and it's working. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Here's Watson now on second down. And boy, that drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. The Broncos say they have it. They do. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They come out here in the eye. Keenum now on the keeper. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down. The Broncos in their hurry-up try to get to their positions and get set quickly.
Okay, got him halfway there.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Case Keenum with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from taking the lead. McManus's point after is good. And with it, his guys take the lead here by a point. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Come back, come back. Blue 80.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Out to his left. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 32 that time. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rolling to his left. Now a leaping catch. He's got it. A gain of 6 there on 1st. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Again, it's Watson. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's brought down after a good gain. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Let's go. Hey, go, Roger. Four down. Bring us the high. Right three. On yours.
Keenum on first down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Lavonte David. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Down. Come back. 22. Back 22.
The final shot before the break. Watson. And the Broncos get there and take him down. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Who ready? Reset. Richmond.
Faking the give. Now Watson. He's going to air one out. And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one. 45 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 24. Out of the gun, Watson. And his throw is incomplete. Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, able to make the play defensively.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Throwing again is Watson. Sliding out of the pocket. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Von Miller in there to sack him. And that is 10 for him now on the year. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? From the gun, Watson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Let's go. 52. Take 2.
Now they'll run it on the toss. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
And the pursuit that time was absolutely top-notch. He was looking to try and turn upfield somewhere. Kept trying to find a place. Somewhere never showed up.
On second down, here's Keenum. They'll let this thing go for Sanders. And that's caught inside the 30. Keenum finding Sanders for a big one. 54 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Andre Howell, the one to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On third down, that's Marshall. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. And no mistaking that sound. It reverberated through the whole stadium.
And it's the sound, Brandon, no kicker wants to hear. It looked like he had it on target the whole way, but the upright said,
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a long.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Gonna need something special here on third and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Down! Back 22! Tiger!
Back to throw, Watson. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Watson now 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. To throw is Watson. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Watson off play action. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Gonna need something special here on third and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Watson now, off the play fake, rolling to his right. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. Welcome back now to Denver. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. This is Marshall. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Now Marshall. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down. On 1st and 10, Keenum forced out to his left. And he's got room. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
They'll run with Marshall. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Here's Keenum to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. 8 yards that time. Able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
Hey, we're good.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Space to run past the 20. And all the way home for a Bronco score. Royce Freeman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. To return, here's Agnew. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A gain of 32 that time. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. play action here on first down. He's going to let it fly. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And it fights him off, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
He's back to throw. He'll buy some time right. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A big gain of 31 on third down. He'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. On second down, here's Miller. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings them third.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical. Spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically.
And he's into the end zone. No flags. It's a touchdown. And now a 2-point conversion. And we'll be tied here in the final minute.
Do they have one big call left? Here we go. The touchdown's massive, but now they've got to have 2 to possibly take this to overtime.
A big spot now for the Texans as they'll try for 2. They'll look to throw. And he's going to get into the end zone. The 2-point conversion successful. And we've got ourselves a tie football game. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here.
Mary left, Mary left. Down, down. Mary left, Mary left. Mary left, Mary left. Down, down, down.
Keenum to throw. Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 35. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to almost certainly win the football game. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
Here you go, boys. Hey. You got three. Three down.
Keenum. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. He missed his only attempt earlier. This time he's going for the win. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. He missed his only attempt earlier. This time he's going for the win. And his kick is right there. It's good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. The home crowd here absolutely loves it, as they should, getting the field goal in the closing moments and likely going to get out of here with a W.
A W, celebrations all around. How about how everyone's going to leave this stadium, right? And you know something? He probably makes more money than most of the 60,000 people here, but they're all willing to buy him dinner tonight, aren't they?
Oh, they don't care. He's a man of the people right now.
Target.
One last throw here for Watson. They'll roll him out right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some time.